Hey, I'm Adam Jusko from ProudMoney.com. In this video, I am reviewing the Total Visa credit card. But before I do that, I would ask you to please subscribe to our YouTube channel if you have not already. And if you have already, I thank you for doing so. So the Total Visa is an unsecured credit card targeted toward bad credit customers. It is issued by the Bank of Missouri. If you have any experience already with unsecured credit cards that are targeting bad credit customers, you probably know they have high interest rates. They have high fees, and they usually have very limited credit lines. So that is sort of true across the sort of industry that targets bad credit customers. But that said, the Total Visa is worse than almost all of them, other than the dreaded First Premier credit card, which is our absolute worst choice as far as any of these types of credit cards go. However, the Total Visa is doing their best to be up there in that First Premier echelon. So this is a card that we would tell you to avoid even with bad credit. There are other options out there on the market that are better, and we'll talk a little bit about that and talk about even better options than going after unsecured cards if you have a bad credit history. But let's look at the specifics of the Total Visa first. It has a high interest rate of 29.99%, very high, even higher than most other bad credit cards that are out there on the market. So, they're pushing it even a little on the interest rate, even though most credit cards in this area probably are going to have rates over 20%, some over 25%. This one is still very high. Now, there's an $89 processing fee on this card that makes absolutely no sense. Most cards do not charge this, even bad credit cards that are unsecured and have these low credit lines. Most of them are not going to charge you a processing fee. There's really no reason for it. So this is just an extra fee to, get you to pay more in order to get credit. You don't need to fall for it. So there's a $75 annual fee on this card that then gets charged to your first bill once you have the card. Every year after that, there's a $48 annual fee. However, in the years after the first year, a new fee shows up that they don't call an annual fee. They then call this a monthly fee, and that is $625 per month. So you're paying that $48 annual fee in the second year and beyond, and then you start to pay a $625 per month fee, which means that in essence, you're paying an extra $75 plus that $48. So your fees are actually going up after the first year, not down. In terms of credit line, what they are showing on their website, you start at $300 on your credit line. That $75 annual fee that I talked about is going to come out of that. So you're going to start with a $225 credit line in most cases. So what that means is you're going to start with a $225 credit line. You'll have already paid that $89 processing fee, which you have to pay before you can even have the card, and you'll have that $75 charge on your first bill. So you were going to have paid $164 in order to have an initial $225 of actual available credit. So yes, I know you want to build credit, and that's why you're looking at a card like this, and this card does report to the major credit bureaus, and if you did everything right, perhaps it can help you build credit. But there are better options. You don't need to pay quite this much in order to try to rebuild your credit. So ideally, we don't really think that bad credit customers should be, going after unsecured credit cards, because at this time you end up with these cards that have the very small credit lines, have the fees, have the high interest rates. However, again, there are other cards on the market if you insist on doing an unsecured credit card that, don't have quite as onerous of fees and don't have quite as high of interest rates, even if those cards aren't necessarily ones that we would recommend you get. Now, if you do have bad credit, you probably wonder, after hearing me say all this, what should you do? And our general recommendation is that you should go after a secured credit card. A secured credit card does make you have to put down a security deposit in order to get the card, but this is a refundable deposit that you get back when you no longer need or want the card. So generally, you put down anywhere from maybe $200 to $500. You'll then get a credit line that is the same amount as that security deposit that you put down. You'll use it just like a regular credit card, and you'll pay it off every month, and that security deposit doesn't get touched. It only gets used if for some reason you don't make your payments, but you're trying to build your credit, so I assume you're going to make your payments. The other thing that is good about secured credit cards versus these types of unsecured cards is you can get them from major banks, and you can start to develop a relationship with a bigger bank that probably has the credit cards that you're hoping to have further down the line. Banks like Capital One, Discover, Bank of America, there are many secured credit cards out there. And what happens is not only do you get that secured card, but over time, if you continue to make your payments on time and you sort of show your good behavior, not only can you help to build your credit score back up, those banks will then consider you for either an upgrade to the card you have, or they will consider giving you your security deposit back and letting you continue to use that card then in an unsecured fashion, just like any regular credit card. So yes, you have to put the security deposit down, but you will get that money back, assuming you always make your payments on time, and you can potentially get yourself set up with a major bank that, in time could put you on a path to getting a better credit card where you don't have to pay these kind of fees and have exorbitant interest rates. So that is always our suggestion of the path to go if you have particularly bad credit. But I would say in particular, avoid the total Visa. There are better options if you insist on going the unsecured route. So that's it. Thanks for watching. Please go to ProudMoney.com where we do other credit card reviews and personal finance news and other fun stuff too. Thanks for watching. Bye.